In this video, we're going to calculate or fill out the first 3 rows of an amortization schedule for a mortgage. And basically all this schedule is it's a table, it's a list that shows for every single month that the person makes a payment on the loan, what the balance is on the loan, and how much of the payment is going to interest and how much is paying off the principal, which means like the amount that the person actually still owes on the home. And remember that with mortgages, the person doesn't actually own their home until they're completely have paid it off. And so there's a bunch of steps here, steps 1 through 5, and I'll go through these as we go through the problem. We're going to use the Villanova family that we've been looking at in the last 2 videos, and we're going to assume that they're going to take the 30-year loan. You can recall that the mortgage amount was $219,920. That already factors in a down payment, and the interest rate is 5.6%, and then we've got a monthly payment of $1,262.51. And so all of this information is necessary in order to start this amortization schedule. And I will note here, you can easily, there are links online, and I'll show you that in a minute when we do the next example where we can have, an online calculator calculate this for us. So, but it is handy, it is helpful, I think, to go through the steps of just filling out a couple of rows just to understand how this works. And so basically when a person starts starts the amortization schedule, what you should do is you should just list the beginning balance, and you're going to list the balance of the loan, so the amount financed, so that $219,920. And I like to not use commas when I'm filling out this table, just so that I don't mix up commas with decimal points. So that's the beginning balance of the loan. And then for the first month, we need to figure out how much of this monthly payment, this $1,262.51, is going to interest, just going directly to the bank, and how much is actually paying off what the family owes on the home. So what we're going to do, this is step 2, is we find that interest rate and we take the beginning balance, so whatever this number is. So we're going to take $219,920. And you could write this in the box, or if it's too messy, just write it down below or on a separate sheet of paper, times the rate, so 0.056, times 1/12, because we're just using the simple interest formula here. So remember, interest equals principal times the rate times the time. Well, if this is 1 month of payment, that's why we use 1/12. And so if we put that all in our calculator, so 219,920 times 0.056 times, now you could do one of two things. If you have a fraction button, you can put in 1/12. The other option is you could do 219,920 times 0.056 times, I'm using parentheses because when I put in 1/12, I'm just going to do 1 divided by 12. And so that's another option if you don't have that fraction button. And so I get a dollar amount of $1,026, and you're going to round to the nearest cent, so 2 digits, so 0.29 and 29 cents. So it's kind of crazy. This person's writing a check to the bank for $1,262.51, but over $1,000 of that is going directly to the bank and not paying off their house. And so to figure out what is left over to go to principal, all we have to do is take the monthly payment. So we're on step 3. We're going to take the monthly payment, which is $1,262.51, and subtract that interest amount that we just calculated. So $1,262.51 minus $1,026.29. And we get a amount of $236.22. So only $236.22 is actually going to towards paying off the home, which is kind of crazy to think of. Because that $1,262 payment, that's a lot of money. And so ending balance at the end, this is ending balance at the end of the month. We're going to take the beginning balance, which we're on now step 4. So $219,920 minus just the payment on principal, so $236.22. So you're going to type $219,920 minus, and if you want, you can take that previous answer just by doing second answer. It's just a shortcut. And so we have a final balance at the end of the first month of $219,683.78. And so now we're going to continue on and do the same process, but the beginning balance is now going to be that ending balance from the previous month. So I'm just going to copy that down. And then I bring that number up to the next line. So 219,683.78 times 0.056 times 1/12. So I can just leave that in my calculator and do times 0.056, and then times, you could do the fraction button or do 1 divided by 12. Either one will work. Okay, and then we're going to get an interest payment of $1,025.19. Notice that as the months go on here, the interest, they're paying a little bit less in interest, $1 less to the bank. And then we'll take that interest amount. So to find the payment on principal, we're going to take the monthly payment. So we're on step 3. So the monthly payment, $1,262.51, and subtract that interest amount. So the steps are the same, but the numbers, notice, are changing going from row to row because you're taking the new interest amount you calculated in the previous box. And so 1,262.51 minus 1,025.19. And notice I'm not actually going to take the answer. I'm not using the answer button in this case because the answer button would give me all of these decimals, and I just want to take 19 cents because the bank is going to round everything to cents, and so we're just going to do that too. And so the payment on principal is $237.32. And look, if you compare it to the previous month, the second month you're paying a little bit more toward the home and a little bit less to the bank. And then the ending balance, all we have to do is take the beginning balance at the beginning of the month, to it's $219,683.78 minus, and then the payment on principal, so $237.32. So we'll put that in the calculator. So $219,683.78 minus $237.32. And so we end up getting $219,446.46. And you notice that the balance here goes down. So the Villanueva family, is paying off their home. They owe less on their home after month 2. And then let's just do this last month. So we're going to take that ending balance from month 2. We're going to carry it down. So 219,446.46. And then that's the number. So I'm going to write it down again, 219,446.46 times 0.056 times the rate times 1/12. And so I'm just going to punch that in, 446.46 times 0.056, and then times parenthesis 1 divided by 12, or you can use the fraction button. Either will work. And so we end up having an interest rate of $1,024.08. We round to 2 decimal places. And so you can see the interest goes from 1026, 1025, 1024, and then some change. So the interest, the amount going to the bank, goes down every month. And then let's look at the payment on principal. So we're going to take the monthly payment, and we're paying this much in interest, so we're going to subtract that to figure out, well, what is remaining to go towards the principal. So $1,262.51 minus $1,024.08. And we're left with $238.43. And so you can see the interest is going down each month, but then the payment on principal is going up, which is good. The higher the payment on principal means the more that the Villanova's family's money is going toward actually paying off their house. And so last box, we're going to take the beginning balance And we're on step 4, so we're going to take the beginning balance just from that month. So 219,446.46 minus the payment on principal, that previous box, 238.43. So let's do that in the calculator. So 219,446.46 minus 238.43, and we get an ending balance of $219,208.03. And again, this is only for month 3. So keep in mind that there's 12 months out of a year and they're doing a 30-year loan. So the amortization table is going to be very long. It's going to be 12 times 30, 30 rows. So during the closing or signing of the paperwork for a mortgage, the family or the person taking out the loan receives the full amortization schedule for their loan. And there are loan calculators online, like the one that this link takes you to, that will actually, provide an amortization schedule if you want to look up, a mortgage of a certain amount, which is really nice. And so let's do, for example, 5, we're going to use that calculator to answer a couple of questions, because we obviously don't want to, it would take a long time to do this by hand. So for part A, it says for the 4th payment, how much of the payment is interest? And so I'm going to bring up the website, and what you're going to want to do in this first box, I typed in the loan amount of $219,920, a 30-year loan, and an APR of 5.6%. And so then what you can do is just scroll down, and this is the amortization schedule. And so we're looking for month 4, so you just go down to where it says 4, and you can look to where it says interest. And so for the 4th payment, there's going to be $1,022.99 in interest. So that's the answer for the first blank. And then it says how much pays off the balance of the loan. You can just go to the column that says principal. That's the amount of money that goes toward paying off the loan. So the 4th month, $239.54 would go towards paying off the loan. So let's go ahead and write those in. So again, the first number was $1,022.97, and then for the 4th month, said $239.54 went toward paying off the balance of the loan. And then let's do the next one, ask for the 300th payment, how much is paid toward interest, and then how much it goes toward paying off the balance of the loan. So we can scroll all the way down, and the nice thing is with this website, it actually, it breaks it year by year. And so we're going to go down to the 300th payment, looks right here near the end of year 25. And remember, well, we can't see at the top here, but this column right here, this is the balance that's left on the loan, and then this column is interest. So now look what happens. So after 300 payments, very little is going to interest compared to before. So $312.14 is going to interest, and $950.37 is going toward the principal. So the longer the longer it's been since, the person started making payments, the more that's paid towards principal and the less that's paid to the bank in interest. And so I'm going to go ahead and just fill those in. So we had $312.14 in interest and $950.37 paid on the balance of the loan.